Okay, in this video, I'm going to explain how to add mixed numbers. Okay, mixed numbers in my country, we speak Spanish. It's called mixed fraction because it's the combination of a whole number and a fraction and a proper fraction. You see, number 3 is the whole number, and 2/5 is the proper fraction. We call it proper because the number on top is less than the number at the bottom. Okay, so in here we have, some people love to stack up the fractions. So first we have 3 and then 2/5, and then at the bottom we have 2 and 1/2. Okay, so let's see if we can. The first step is we line up the fractions, right? And can we add 2/5 and 1/2? Yes. Can we add 3 and 2? Yeah. So let's go to the next slide. And basically what I'm doing, I'm finding, because I have an addition of, on like terms, the denominators are different, so I had to make them the same, right? So I'm converting 1/2 to 5/10. As you can see, the balance is in the middle, so it's the same. If you multiply the number 1 by 5, it gives me 5, and if I multiply number 2 by 5, it gives me 10. So basically those 1/2, it's the same as 5/10. Okay, let's go to next slide, right? So now you see I multiplied the 2/5 by 2 and it gives me 4/10, and I multiply 1/2 by 5 and it gives me 5/10. So why we need to have number 10 at the bottom? Because between the denominators 5 and denominator 2, the least common multiple of 2 and 5 is the first one. It's number 10. If I list all the multiples of 5, I go up by counting by 5, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. And by 2, it's 2, 4, 6. And the first common multiple is going to be number 10. That's why we need to convert both fractions. We have to make them have 10 in the denominator, okay? And for that to be possible, we have to multiply the first one, 2/5 by 2. And the rule, wherever I multiply the number at the bottom, I have to repeat it on top. That's the rule for equivalent fractions. And then at the bottom, I multiply by 5. So now instead of having 3 to 5, I'm going to have 3, 4, 10, and then 2, 5, 10. Let's go to next slide. Okay, so now we substitute 4/10 and 5/10. So now that they have the same denominator, we're able to proceed. We just add up 4 and 5, that gives me 9, and we repeat the same denominator, which is 10. So the answer to that is going to be 9/10. And the whole numbers, it's pretty simple. It's just adding 3 and 2, and that gives me 5. So the final answer to that is going to be 5, the whole number, and then 9/10. That's the final answer, okay? And it's going to be a mixed number. So let's see now another example. We have 9, 7, 8, and then we have 8/3, right? So we need to find the least common multiple. If you list all the multiples of 8 and the multiples of 4, you will notice that the number 8 is going to be the first multiple. So number 8 itself is the least common multiple of 8 and 4, okay? So I don't touch the 7/8. I just keep it the same, and I convert 3/4. I just want to have it to have number 8 as denominator. Okay, that's why I multiply by 2, because if I multiply 3 times 2, it gives me 6, and I need at the bottom to have number 8. 4 times 2 gives me 8. Okay, so therefore now that I have the same denominator, 7/8 plus 6/8, I just add up the numbers on top. 7 plus 6, it gives me 13. That's why you see here in the box, you see 13/8, and that's an improper fraction. You have to make that improper fraction, you have to convert that into a proper fraction. So how do I do that? Oh, I'm sorry, before I go to the next slide, 9 plus 8 gives me 17. So far we have 17, the whole number, and the fraction is 13/8, but we cannot leave it like that because it's improper. We have to make that fraction a proper fraction. Okay, how do I convert that? Let's go to next slide. And you see 17, right? I already have my fraction, my improper fraction, the one I want to convert. It's 13 over 8. And if I convert 13 over 8, basically what I do, I just divide how many times 13 goes into 8. It goes one time. So 1, right? It's gonna be 1. And then from 8 to 13, how much do you need? You need 5. That's why you got 5 in the numerator. So 5, 1 whole number, and 5 over 8 is the same as this improper fraction, 13 over 8. Okay, so now that number 1, I'm gonna add it to 17, and now the 17 will turn into 18. And now that I have 18, I just had to include and put together the whole number 18 and the proper fraction. Okay, so remember, here was a improper fraction and here it's a proper fraction. Remember, proper because it got to be less than 1, so the number on top has to be less than the number at the bottom. I hope you understood this video, and I see you in the next one.